You're not stuck, you're comfortable. And that's much worse. Because being stuck means there's something holding you back. Comfort means you're holding yourself. Comfort is the most seductive drug in human history. It doesn't destroy you fast. It destroys you quietly. It whispers, "You're fine, you've done enough. You deserve to rest." And that's how average is built, not through failure but through soothing success. People think comfort equals safety, but comfort is a trap disguised as peace. It kills dreams gently, one compromise, one distraction, one delayed decision at a time. You don't lose your potential all at once. You trade it piece by piece for the illusion of stability. That's why the modern world is full of intelligent people living lives that feel too small for them. They're not imprisoned by systems, they're imprisoned by couches. Here's the dark truth: most people don't fear failure, they fear discomfort. The awkward silence of starting over, the uncertainty of new effort, the weight of being a beginner again. So instead of evolving, they rationalize. They call fear patience. They call procrastination self-care. They call escape balance. But deep down, they know comfort has become their cage. If this is already hitting closer than you expected, pause for a second and follow rich logic. Because escaping comfort begins with awareness, and awareness compounds. Comfort is the silent killer of potential because it feels earned. You worked hard, you deserve this, but that's how the trap works. You don't get addicted to comfort because it's evil. You get addicted because it feels safe. And the human brain loves safety, even if it means dying slowly inside it. The irony: comfort doesn't make life easier, it makes it smaller. Because once you get comfortable, your brain stops searching for solutions. It stops scanning for growth. It turns off curiosity, the fuel of evolution. You stop asking questions like, "What else is possible?" and start asking, "What's on Netflix?" Comfort disguises itself as success. It tells you you've made it when you've only paused. You buy things to feel progress. You upgrade, decorate, subscribe, but nothing inside you actually moves. You confuse maintenance for momentum. You confuse distraction for peace. And that's how empires, both financial and personal, collapse. Not through crisis, but through contentment. The worst part is that comfort teaches you to fear discomfort. It trains you to believe that difficulty means danger, that pressure means failure, that friction means something's wrong. But in truth, growth requires friction. Without it, muscles weaken, minds dull, and ambition dies quietly. The rich, the powerful, the unstoppable, they're not fearless. They're just addicted to a different sensation, expansion. They chase discomfort like oxygen, because they understand that pain is not punishment, it's feedback. Discomfort is the birthplace of clarity. Every time you choose the harder road, you force your brain to innovate. You awaken instincts that comfort put to sleep. That's why discomfort feels alive, because it is. It's life reminding you that growth still exists. The most dangerous people aren't the ones who fail. They're the ones who get comfortable succeeding, because success without tension creates decay, and comfort makes you forget how to fight. The moment you stop stretching your limits start shrinking around you. That's why billionaires keep working after making it. They're not chasing money anymore. They're escaping numbness. They know the game ends the day they stop being challenged. Comfort feeds the ego but starves the soul. It makes you feel important but slowly irrelevant. It gives you validation but takes away direction. The ego loves comfort because it doesn't question itself. But purpose hates it because purpose can't breathe where nothing grows. If this is waking something inside you, like this video and subscribe to Rich Logic. Because this is where comfort ends and control begins. Here's what no one tells you about comfort. It's not passive, it's predatory. It evolves with you. When you outgrow one level of comfort, it creates a new one, a more sophisticated trap with better furniture. That's why the middle class gets stuck so easily. They escape scarcity but fall into satisfaction. They forget that wealth isn't freedom, it's responsibility. And the moment you confuse the two, you stop climbing. Comfort doesn't come to destroy your life. It comes to neutralize it. It removes pain, yes, but it also removes urgency. It makes you emotionally quiet when you should be spiritually loud. You stop asking, "What's next?" and start whispering, "This is enough." And that's the moment the fire dies. Not with tragedy, but with tolerance. Humans don't crave comfort, they crave certainty, and comfort is the cheapest substitute for it. That's why we stay in toxic jobs, unfulfilling relationships, dead cities, empty routines, because even pain feels safer than the unknown. Comfort is not the opposite of suffering, it's the opposite of transformation. Every great life requires discomfort. Every empire, every innovation, every reinvention was born from someone who sat with fear long enough to see it turn into focus. But the world today is engineered to remove friction, instant gratification, convenience culture, comfort on demand. It's a paradise for the body and a cemetery for the soul. You're not stuck because the world is against you. You're stuck because your body is addicted to dopamine, and your mind is terrified of silence. You check your phone the moment discomfort appears. You scroll the moment you feel uncertainty. You reach for stimulation like it's oxygen. But stimulation is not progress, it's sedation. You're not bored, you're withdrawn from purpose. Discomfort is the only drug that heals. It burns, it challenges, it exposes every part of you that comfort hides. But it also rebuilds you, stronger, sharper, freer. Because every time you face discomfort voluntarily, you teach your brain, I can handle uncertainty. And once you believe that, the world stops controlling you. That's why the rich embrace discomfort. They sit in rooms that make them feel small. They hire people smarter than them. They take losses in public. They don't seek ease, they seek expansion. Because comfort gives you relief. Discomfort gives you range. And range is what separates the powerful from the powerless. The truth is, comfort isn't the opposite of growth. It's the end of it. Growth doesn't happen when you feel ready. It happens when you decide to move even while shaking. Every major shift in your life will feel wrong at first, because your nervous system doesn't know the difference between danger and evolution. So your body resists, your mind hesitates, and your potential waits. Until you move, you don't need motivation, you need friction. Because motivation fades, friction creates focus. That's why pain works. It's feedback. It tells you exactly where comfort is keeping you blind. That job you hate but tolerate. That dream you delay but never forget. That life that looks fine but feels hollow. That's comfort talking. You're not stuck. You're just overdosed on comfort. You've mistaken no pain for no problem. But your real problem is invisible. It's your comfort zone pretending to be home. It's warm, it's safe, it's killing you softly. If you want to escape, you don't need a miracle. You need a disruption. Do something uncomfortable every day. Sit in silence instead of scrolling. Start the thing you've been planning. Make a move before you feel ready. Because readiness is a lie, comfort tells you to keep you obedient. The perfect moment never comes, you create it through motion. The moment you embrace discomfort, you begin to detox from mediocrity. You stop living by reaction and start living by intention. That's the shift that separates those who live decades on, repeat from those who evolve in months. You're not stuck, you're comfortable. And the price of comfort is always the same, potential traded for peace that doesn't last. If you can learn to see pain as a teacher and fear as direction, you'll finally understand why every great story begins the moment someone stops settling. Because you were never stuck. You were just sitting still in a room that stopped growing with you.